Sleep with me. Some real desire to love to sleep with me. The mighty cross got me like a zoo. Always hiding that booty good at me.
DJ Escort, let's go.
Check my catalog, I'ma keep some money coming. I don't cut the water on life, fuck keep it running. Gotta come off flowers, really
Good morning. Baby, turn the side like
got a lot of money, but you made me
order.
I just get the bag, get them fans, do a shout out. I just get them bands and the light to
Good morning.
I just get them bands and the light to give my shout out.
Hey.
I just fuck the fan and she asked for a shout out.
Hey.
Hit the top, grand, trying to free the club shout out. I just had some coke inside the freezer trying to cover. Everything seems different when you smoke a pillow.
Hey.
Through the gang territory, there you trying to roll up.
Hey.
There you trying to roll up.
I dare you try to roll up. I dare you try to roll up. Hey. Hey.
Gotta keep the hammer on the seat, I gotta switch my grammar every week, Never see $1 billion ain't complete, See $1 trillion ain't complete,
Hey.
See $1 trillion ain't complete.
I dare you try to roll up. I dare you try to roll up.
Christian nails on me, this is not
That's
a fairy
right.
tale. A couple bells on me, like a bell.
Good morning, DJ.
Champagne spill.
What kind of song, Verge? All of you.
Upper echelon, we'll never miss a meal.
Hey.
You gotta use ways just to get through the crib.
Make me join the sun like
Get a lot of money, put your image on the side.
the coolest DJ.
Get them fans, do a shout out.
Hey.
I just get them fans, get them fans, do a shout out. I just get them fans and the light to give my shout out. I just fuck the fan and she asked for a shout out. Hit the top grand, trying to free the club shout out.
Let's go.
Walk inside the freezer, trying to cover. Everything seems different when you smoke a pillow. Through the gang territory, there you trying to roll it. There you trying to roll it. There you trying to roll it.
Good morning, Millie.
I dare you try to roll it.
Hey,
I
Wilson.
just ran my bells up on the beat, ayy. Gotta keep the hammer on the seat.
Gotta keep that hammer on you.
Gotta switch my grammar every week.
Gotta switch my grammar.
See $1 trillion ain't complete,
I dare $1 trillion every week.
There you try to roll it.
I dare you try to roll up. I dare you try to roll up.
All white leather, got a pop collars.
Make me try to roll up.
Get a lot of money, put your man bitch on the side.
Hey.
I just get them
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's showtime.
Yeah, it's me, Zeus.
It's me, Zeus.
Sometimes it gotta be this way. It really does.
It really does.
But it shouldn't.
Let's go.
I'ma have to cut you off. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't play these games no more. What you looking at me for? I just want the money, yo. All these games that you be playing, all this talk that you be saying, I don't really like to play. Get this money
We got
every way.
receipts.
Gotta keep my mental clear. Yeah, you know I'm out of here. I don't really have no fear. Yeah, you keep on showing tears. I'm not with that back and forth. I'm the type to get to work. I'm the type to keep it real. I'm the type to get a deal. I'm the type to chase a bag. I'm the type to pop a tag. Sick like I have SARS. Ride around fast cars. Rapping like behind bars. I do this all for my dogs. This is what it all costs.
When you gotta be the boss.
If you not my dog,
When you gotta be the boss, ladies and gentlemen.
I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you
Let's
off.
go.
This is what it be like when I'm stunting on my enemies. This is what it be like when I make them feel my energy. Sitting on these racks, okay. You know what this really mean? This is what it's all about. I'm on top of everything. I'm the boss, don't play with me. This right here, no game to me. Toxic, 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 toxic. No, that's not okay with me. Every day you say you scared. Every day I'm making bread. Every day you say you good. Every day I wish you would. This is what it be like when you really on a come up. This is what it be like when you really trying to run up.
Hey.
Rookie of the year, better go and break the record. Rookie of the Yeah, better go and get a checkup. Yeah. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off.
And I have no problem. And I have no problem. I have no problem cutting people off. It's one of the most liberating things you can do in life, ladies and gentlemen. When people are being toxic to you and they're talking bad about you, listen, if you're not my dog, thank you. Thank you, Ruby, for those Zeus hands. If you're not my dog, and you know I love my dog, I have no problem drawing a hard line in the sand and letting you know where you stand. That's just the way it is. Listen, I didn't make these rules. I just play by them. You know, because these people are upset right now. You know, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen, right before we go into Memorial Day weekend. I'm back. I know we are entering uncharted territory, but the show must go on and the truth must be told. So let's take care of some housekeeping items. Number one, you already know who I am. I am Triple H. Yes, I am Triple H, ladies and gentlemen. And I work with a amazing group of talented TikTok creators out here to bring you good morning attacking, to bring you nothing but the truth. So help me God. Okay. Yeah, they call me Zeus, but Triple H sounds good right now. And why do they call me Triple H? They call me Triple H because I am honest. I am the most honest person out here on TikTok. There's nobody more honest than me. No one. The next H stands for humble. There's nobody more humble than me out here. Not at all. If I get it wrong, you know what I will do. I will issue an apology as I see fit. And you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay? I have no problem apologizing. If I step on your toes, oops, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. If I cut in line, you know, I was ordering a Happy Meal or something. I don't know. Ordering a Big Mac or something. And if I cut you off in line when I did that, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't see you were there. There's nothing wrong with issuing an apology when you're wrong. Okay? And the last H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am the most handsome. I really am the most handsome. One gentleman came into this live and he said, Zeus, I'm more handsome than you. And I said, really? You're more handsome than me? Well, then do you have this?
Who's always the most handsome in the kingdom?
The most handsome in the kingdom, right? I mean, where is your song? Where is the people out there telling you you're the most handsome? Let me play it again for those of you who didn't hear it. Listen up.
Who's always the most handsome in the kingdom?
I have yet to see anyone else be able to supply the evidence and bring the receipts for their handsomeness. So, when these folks go around and they brand themselves as being more handsome than Zeus, I want you to remind them they gotta bring the receipts. You just can't get out here and say it. You gotta live it, folks. I know. I'm gonna get into a lot of trouble for that. I didn't get my steak dinner. We gotta wait until Jack Smith actually produces the evidence and the jury finds him guilty before I get that steak dinner, because it's double or nothing right now. But I will tell you this. You want to know something? They're scared to come into this live and talk about Jack Smith. Good morning, peace and lots. Good morning, Poker Dad. Good morning, and good morning to all of you who I didn't get to say good morning to. So I introduced myself, and the last thing I got to do is make it very clear to the Trump supporters what type of live this is, so that they can, brace themselves, because I don't want you caught off guard with this amount of truth that's about to stop flowing. Good morning, Amir. Okay, good morning, everyone. There's going to be a high level of truth coming out of this live, because what we do over here is we know how to look at the Republican Party, especially Trump supporters, and frame the truth in a way that they understand that they've been manipulated and lied to, okay? Because that's what this is about, educating them and making sure they understand. Do not believe Donald Trump. Do not believe his cronies. You know, Jim Jordan, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz. Who else? James Comer. Don't believe them, because if you listen to these folks, they will have you in jail. Okay, and listen, the DOJ, I was talking to a good friend of mine, April. I was in her live yesterday, and I think someone in there asked me, I forget her name, I think it was Brandy. She said, Zeus, I gotta ask you, do you think Donald J. Trump will go to jail? And I said to myself, I said, this is a fair question. And I remember this question is one I've been asked for at least a year and a half. And I've always said, absolutely. And now we're starting to see why. Because listen up, folks. The DOJ has one thing in a large amount. This one thing the DOJ has in the largest amount possible on this earth. And that's time. Okay, the DOJ, ladies and gentlemen, has so much time to hand out to people who break the law. It's unheard of. You saw them just give the founder of the Oath Keepers 18 large ones. 18 large ones. So if they're going to give the founder of the Oath Keepers 18 years for being a part of planning it, what do you think they're going to give the folks that are at the top, at the very top of that seditious conspiracy, i.e., Donald J. Trump, Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, and Mark Meadows? What do you think they're going to get? So, to answer your question, yes, I believe Donald J. Trump will be going to jail. Don't be mad at me. What did I say? Would you rather me lie to you like these other fake TikTok hosts do? These other fake TikTok hosts, they will tell you he's not going to jail. He's not going to get arrested. He won't lose. And they've lied to you. Alvin Bragg. Did Alvin Bragg indict him? Someone out there, please. Can you answer the question? Did Alvin Bragg indict Donald J. Trump? I'm asking for a friend. Did Alvin Bragg really do it? Yes? Oh. Thank you, Buchanan. You wanted smoke? I'm bringing it. Did Alvin Bragg do it? The answer is yes. Did E. Jean Carroll? Did she take him to court and win? Did she? Asking for a friend. The series is looking ugly for Trump. Okay, listen, I don't know how many series there are, but it's 0-2 for Donald J. Trump right now when it comes to these court cases. You can sit back and appeal this until the cows come home. And when we get to that point in the road, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. But for right now, there's nothing else to debate. I don't want to debate facts. And the facts are he was found liable in the E. Jean Carroll matter, and Alvin Bragg has indicted him. Okay? And he has a court date scheduled for March 25th, 2024. You can argue until you're blue in the face. It won't change a thing. I guarantee you he will show up to court. Because if he thinks he can argue his way out of showing up to court, he will be found incompetent and he will be put in handcuffs like everybody else. I'm not arguing about this stuff with you folks anymore. I'm done. Zeus is done arguing about it now. It's happening, yes, and I do think he's going to go to jail. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Oh, I forgot to say it to the Trump supporters. You know this is my favorite thing to do. Now is your time to exit stage left, okay? You can leave this live if it's too uncomfortable. You know, normally when I say this, the number of people drop, right? I tell them, get out of here. It's going to get scary. Retreat.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
Right.
if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will go on. If you're still here after all of this truth is being shared, you know, I'm going to say this. I'm impressed, especially if you're a Trump supporter. You're brave. But don't tell your friends you were in a Zeus live, because they are going to be furious with you. Okay? But you're more than welcome to listen and participate, you know. And if you want to disagree, go for it. I got a lot of people in the comment section that will help you get over whatever you're disagreeing about. Okay? I have no problems with you disagreeing with me. None whatsoever. All right. So let's get into today's first topic. And this has to do with the company Apple. A lot of you know, a lot of you either have an iPhone or a Google phone, right? And, what Apple has recently decided to do, I would argue, is very impressive. They are the largest company in the world in terms of market value. Yes. And they get to do pretty much whatever they want in terms of how they want to support different causes out here. And by the way, this company is worth $2.8 trillion in market capitalization and has taken on various social issues, breaking with the neutrality required of multinationals. So this is why I say, this is a good thing. Okay, I'm so proud of Apple for doing this. Good morning, Hazel. Last year, ladies and gentlemen, Apple was one of the companies that announced its intention to remedy the consequences of the Supreme Court's decision to revoke the federal abortion rights, okay? And you know what Apple did? And this company, for those of you who don't know, was founded by the late Steve Jobs. But you know what Apple did? Apple said, you know what? We don't like the fact that the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. And guess what? They agreed to cover the cost incurred by employees who had to travel to another state for an abortion. Good job, Apple. We need more companies like you. We need more leaders like you, Tim Cook. Okay? Because a lot of people don't understand how important this is, but Tim Cook, he gets it. Apple now, ladies and gentlemen, is making a bold statement. Are you ready? Because we know Pride Month, along with Juneteenth, is right around the corner, and we've seen these ugly animals right out of a cage, going into these Target stores, harassing Target employees, and knocking over signs because these signs were in celebration and support of the LGBTQ plus community. And to those who do that, yeah. If you are one of these animals that are going into these stores and harassing these employees because they're simply working at Target, trying to make a living, they want to provide for their families, they want to be able to put bread on the table, and they're celebrating and embracing creating an inclusive environment, and you go into those stores and you start harassing those employees, knocking over merchandise, I got this to say: shame! You should be embarrassed to be out here in public recording yourself doing this, okay? And it's not going to stop progress, okay? It's not, okay? And I know it's not because of companies like Apple. So what did Tim Cook decide to do, ladies and gentlemen? Tim Cook made an announcement, and you can go see it on Twitter. You can, okay? He said, we're excited to make available an all-new Pride Edition Apple Watch band, which helps incredible organizations around the world that support the LGBTQ plus community. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to join me in giving Tim Cook and the Apple Company a round of applause. See, this is real leadership in action. This is real leadership in action. And the reason that I say this is because I know a lot of people that claim they are against trans and LGBTQ and all these other minorities out here. I know they all have iPhones, huh? And I want to see you get rid of your iPhones and get off social media and go on about your life. I want to see if you have the courage to do it. I want you to show us how serious you are about not being a part of this. Okay? So to all of those folks out there who think that they can wage this war and rid this world of whatever things they think and hate, I want to see you get off of your Apple products today. And if you don't, if I catch you out here on TikTok, if I catch you out there on YouTube or wherever you go and hang out, and I'm going to ask, do you have an Apple phone? Do you have an iMac? Do you have any Apple products? And if you say yes, I want you to know you're supporting this. They don't like me because I tell the truth. But listen, I'd rather tell the truth and be realer than you than to be out here believing lies. Now let's move on to our next topic. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you recognize the QAnon shaman? How many of you recognize him? Well, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? He's out. Yeah, he's out, and I don't really want to go into too much detail because I don't think it's worth noting. But for the most part, he is on Twitter. He is now giving interviews. Yes, he's giving interviews, and he seems to have seen the light. Yes, while he won't come out and say things that were as extreme as they were before. It's very sad. It's very sad to hear that he's still a believer of the QAnon nonsense. And what does this mean? What does this mean, ladies and gentlemen? Well, this means that they got an eye on him and that he most likely, if he doesn't change course, okay, because you're supposed to see the light and change course. If he does not change course, he might find himself once again under investigation. So, do not, now you can go listen to his interview. Some gentleman interviewed him. I forget what his name is. And tell us about what was going on. And he tried to tie his experience in jail to God. And this is the most amazing thing about this. I really do. I just love how folks end up in jail. They end up in jail and then they find God. Somebody tell these folks. Somebody please tell these folks, these criminals, God does not want you to go to jail for Donald Trump. Somebody tell them, okay, because they ain't listening to me. I know they ain't. Somebody tell these folks, God didn't have nothing to do with that. Somebody tell these folks, this is not the left attacking Christians and stuff like that. Tell them, folks, this is the result of you dressing up like that and going to Washington, D.C. One of the things he didn't say in his interview, right? I listened to his interview. One of the things he's never said is anything about Ray Epps. He hasn't said anything about Nancy Pelosi, Mayor Bowser. He hasn't said a thing. And he was tight-lipped about Donald Trump. Oh, he knows. If you say Trump's name too many times, you just might be in jail too. just like what happens if you say Jack Smith's name 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, let this be a lesson to all of you. Okay, if you listen to Trump and you dress up like this, you will end up in jail. And then I think they sent them to the halfway house shortly after that before they released him. And now he's on a tour. He's trying to collect from all of his supporters. So to the folks out there who are sending him his money, I want to also say, if you keep sending these folks your money, do not complain about inflation. Thank you, Lab. Thank you so much for the gift. Now let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. to the next bit of news. Because listen, I got so many things I got to touch on before I open up these boxes. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. Texas lawmakers are recommending impeaching Attorney General Glenn Paxton. Wow. Don't blame me. They always want to blame the Democrats for things like this going on. This has nothing to do with the Democrats. This has everything to do with the corruption going on in the Republican Party. And I've always maintained the position. Everything the Republican Party tries to blame on the Democrats and the radical left. Tea! Greetings, tea drinker. Nice to see ya, brother. Everything the right tries to blame on the Democrats, just give it maybe 1 to 5 days, and there'll be a headline that comes out, and it actually is them doing it. Listen, I've seen it over and over, at least 100% of the time. So when these folks get up and they start yelling, you're this, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a great. No, just say, that's what I am? Cool. Call me whatever you want to call me. And you just leave that live, right? And you go through your Twitter feeds and your news feeds, and then it'll pop up, right? Because the way this technology works, right? Whatever you're talking about, it'll pop up in your timeline. And all of a sudden you'll get an article. A Republican congressman found to be graping what? A Republican congressman has been found engaging in racism and racist conduct. And you're like, wow. And here I thought it was me. You know what? So let's get into this. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, thank you for those gifts, teetered on the brink of impeachment Thursday after years of scandal, criminal charges, and corruption accusations that the state Republican majority had largely met with silence until now.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, he should apologize. But he didn't. He still thinks he's innocent. In a unanimous decision, a Republican-led House investigative committee that spent months quietly looking into Paxton recommended impeaching the state's top lawyer on 20 articles, including, thank you for the gift, 20 articles, including bribery, unfitness for office, and abuse of public trust. The State House of Representatives could vote on the recommendation as soon as today. If the House impeaches him, he would be forced to leave office immediately. And here I thought, this had to be because of Hunter Biden. This had to be because of President Biden and that influence peddle. This had to be because of Hillary Clinton. Thank you, Toy. This had to be because of the radical left. Here I thought that's what this was about. And it turns out it had nothing to do with the Democrats. Right, lab, the laptop. Hunter Biden's laptop. And they keep sending me these Twitter links with Hunter Biden in the dark, talking on the phone. And Zeus, look at Hunter Biden. There is something there. Folks, you cannot make this stuff up. These folks are obsessed. They swear President Biden and his son, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Ray Epps, and so on, are guilty. But they are Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder when it comes to this stuff going on in the Republican Party. And then they get mad at us. I'm not falling for it. It's like being in one of those relationships. Somebody always accusing you of doing something, and then you find out it's them. Yeah, I've been there, done that, And I'm probably one of the best at it. And I recognize what you're doing, and it won't work here. Sorry. I'm just sorry. It's not going to work. Now, my last thing. Oh, one last thing before I open up these boxes, because I do want to hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and just tell the truth about what's going on. I don't coordinate with people before I go live. Thank you for the hat. People come in, they talk to me from wherever they're at, and you just know these folks are engaged with the truth. And that's what makes this show so beautiful. Folks out there like myself know what's happening and can come in and talk about it. Okay? And so with that being said, let me move on to one of my last topics that I wanted to touch on. Well, first of all, let's do it like this. Those two are connected. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the subscriptions. For those of you who didn't know what just happened, it's very disturbing. Yeah. Mar-a-Lago worker, it made a shocking claim about those classified documents. And you won't believe this. You won't believe this. You will not believe it. And this is on the heels of Trump announcing that on June 1st, he will be doing his second town hall on Fox. So you know what I say about Fox, right? You gotta make sure you don't believe nothing Fox says. Wait a week after whatever you watch on Fox, wait a week, because that'll give them time to at least come back and fact check themselves. But for the most part, believe it is a lie. And thank you for that subscription. Okay, as competition builds for the Republican Party, ladies and gentlemen, we got some bad news to disclose. Thank you for the gift. I appreciate that. Yes. It turns out, ladies and gentlemen, the worker says that the timing of the move is suspicious in terms of the fact. Thank you, Tea Drinker. Listen, you are all amazing. It turns out that when Donald J. Trump, days before he was going to be visited by the FBI, one of his staff members said that Trump had them engaged in a dress rehearsal. Now, what makes this alarming, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that they know the former president tends to not be one of these guys that does things by the book. He tends to be led by emotion rather than logic. So what makes this even more interesting is the fact that days before the FBI showed up, he had this dress rehearsal in which he masked the dress rehearsal with moving boxes. And they have him on camera. I didn't call it a dress rehearsal. He did. Okay? He had the dress rehearsal, and it took place before the subpoena. Ladies and gentlemen, and it's on camera. You cannot make this stuff up. And this is why Donald J. Trump is in a lot of hot water. I posted a video yesterday. I let you know that Jack Smith is on the verge of indicting the former president. Okay, and they say it's coming right after Memorial Day. So my question, why was Donald J. Trump, to the Trump supporters, can you answer this question? Why was Donald J. Trump trying to use a dress rehearsal to move those classified documents? And why did he do it on camera? Did he think he could get away with it? Thank you for the gift. Jack Smith is coming. Yes. Jack Smith is coming. See, I can't get any answers about that because he's a criminal. I'll buy it. He's a criminal. That makes sense. He thought he was smart, but he got caught. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will move it on to our next section. You know what it is. Donald J. Trump's lawyers are reportedly giving him a warning to brace himself for another wave of indictments. And you can see Trump right there. He is terrified. And why is he terrified?
Jack Smith. He's a Trump hater. His wife's a Trump hater. His family's a Trump hater.
He's terrified of Jack Smith. So you know what we must do in honor of Jack Smith. Oh, I see you. I see you double up. To my subscribers, please get those Jack Smith pictures ready. And I want you to flood the chat with these pictures while we play Jack Smith's theme song.
Jack Smith is a trumpeter. His wife's a trumpeter. His family's a trumpeter. They all hate Trump. They hate him with a passion. They'll do anything they can to hurt Trump. But he's a harasser and an abuser. Jack Smith is a trumpeter. His wife's a trumpeter. His family's a trumpeter. They all hate Trump. They hate him with a passion. They'll do anything they can to hurt Trump. But he's a harasser and an abuser. Jack Smith is a trumpeter. His wife's a trumpeter. His family's a trumpeter. They all hate Trump. They hate him with a passion. They'll do anything they can to hurt Trump. He's a harasser and an abuser. Jack Smith. He's a trumpeter.
Right.
His wife's a trumpeter. His family's a trumpeter. They all hate Trump. They hate him with a passion. They'll do anything they can to hurt Trump. But he's a harasser and an abuser.
You know, when I had to do it. I had to take the clip because he got on Truth Social and he said this all about Jack Smith. He referred to himself in the third person, and he said, and he made the claim that Jack Smith is a harasser and an abuser, and it just tickled me when he did it because I said, I don't think that about Jack Smith. Does anybody else out there think that Jack Smith is a harasser? I haven't heard a single word from Jack Smith. I haven't seen him at all. You know, how did Trump come to such a conclusion? The man seems to be just wherever he's at. He's probably at home behind his desk in a very quiet room, just working. Jack Smith isn't a harasser or an abuser. No, I just didn't understand how Trump came to that conclusion. But when you look at what Jack Smith's job is, which is to investigate Donald J. Trump for those crimes, and you know how good Jack Smith is, then one must conclude that there is a chance that Donald J. Trump does feel like Jack Smith is harassing him. But you wouldn't feel that way, sir, if you didn't break the law. So where does this leave us? Well, Trump's lawyers and top advisors have reportedly told him recently something he probably didn't want to hear, that he should expect to get indicted again this year. Trump has been confronted with a grave warning from his lawyers and advisors that he should expect indictments again this year. Mm-hmm. Political counselors have informed Donald J. Trump about their expectations of an impending indictment. Sources familiar with the matter have told us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want all of his supporters to understand this is coming, and don't get out here and start trying to argue with people on TikTok. Just stop. Go back to the drawing board and seek forgiveness, okay? Ask God, the God you pray to. Ask God to forgive you for following this criminal to the darkest corners of crime that can be committed, okay? Because that's what you need to do. Don't try to go and rescue him. He doesn't need you to rescue him. He just needs to go through the process because, ladies and gentlemen, as he said, we are a nation of law and order. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am now going to open up these boxes, and it is time to hear from those of you out there who are brave enough. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you for the Jack Smith and the waves and the comment. Listen, you could be anywhere on TikTok, but You chose to be here with us, so I appreciate it. And by the way, there's been no lies told. I haven't lied to you not one time. And if I did, I will be more than willing to reconsider what I said if I was wrong. So, if you want to talk, I hope you want to talk about the things that I've covered. Okay? Because those are things we can actually pinpoint and reference. But if you want to get in here and you want to ask me those questions that I've been answering for the past few months about Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Hunter Biden, President Biden, I'm not going to have the bandwidth to deal with it because I just can't get into speculation right now. I just can't do it. Okay? Good morning, Tina. And by the way, that tan suit, Heaven, that Barack Obama is wearing, it looks nice on that brother. Good job, President Obama. All right. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're going to start lineup. We do got an interesting lineup, and we're going to start, and I'm hopefully going to get through everyone, right before this Memorial
Hello,
weekend. Norris,
Zeus.
greetings. Good
I
morning.
think
How
this
are
is
you?
just trying to get to me. After seeing what's going on, I think Trump is just trying to make excuses because he's scared of Bubba.
Oh, you think he's scared of going to jail?
hmm
Hmm. What makes you think
I
he's
think
scared?
just the way he's trying to get the people all wild up. That's around his how would I say his campaign and stuff.
Hmm.
Trying to get back as president when he's not when he knows he's probably most likely going to lose to the court cases and stuff that happened and everything.
Right. You think he's just trying to get money out of his supporters, and do you think he's actually encouraging people to kind of engage in criminal conduct in his defense?
hmm Oh yeah,
Mm, mm,
definitely.
mm.
Because if you look at everything, and I have friends on both sides, and like even my family's Republican and Democrat, so I get to see both sides of what happens, and just
Right.
knowing that Trump is trying to avoid jail, it makes me think he's scared of how would I say the other inmates because they might be looking at him like he's a pretty girl or something in there for being so long.
Do you think? Let me ask you this question though. So you said you have family and friends that are Trump supporters. Are they
hmm
Republicans or are they Trump supporters?
My dad's Republican. My brother was voted for. I know my little brother. He voted for Trump twice. My little sister. I think this is her first time voting for doing any voting the last election year. So she voted for Trump because she obviously followed
Well, what part of the country are your family from, if you don't mind?
Um, we're kind of all over the West Coast. So California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Montana, where I'm at.
Okay, so you're in Montana and you don't support Donald Trump.
Mm-mm.
Good, good. God bless you, brother. God bless you.
No, because normally I'm an independent. I'll do the research on what they do and everything else, and then
Mhm.
if I don't like it, I'll go the opposite way. And
Right.
after seeing what Trump did from 2016 to 2020, it's just like, and then him trying to rerun and fit, and knowing that yeah, because I did vote for Hillary because I did want to see a female as a president for once in my life, but
Right.
the whole setup that they did is just like, yeah, I foresaw that they were going to set up a lot of things.
Mm. Now, there's a question out there. Are you being impacted by that ban on TikTok out there in that state of Montana?
uh, Not yet. We won't be impacted until 2024.
Mm. Wow.
but
Isn't that a
but
shame? Isn't that a shame? They say they're for freedom of speech, but then they do things like this. Isn't that a shame?
but the but they are going a little more after. I'm guessing our governor has seen what the heck's going on. He got a little more lenient on how would I put it? Okay, I'm gonna put this in the way of Full Metal Jacket, Mary Jane over here. So we have a little more leeway on certain types of Mary Jane, and he just for native tribes over here that are
Uh-huh.
on reservations, they get
Right.
a little more leeway right now for growing and having a dispensary in their areas and stuff.
Interesting. Interesting. So how long have you been in the state of Montana? You been there all your life?
No, sir. My uncle has. My mom's been here for about 4 years, and I've been here for about 3.
Mm, mm, Okay, okay. And where were you prior?
Washington State.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm trying to just get an understanding. So when you talk to your family and friends that are Trump supporters, what do they tell you is the reason that they still support him?
It's always about the Second Amendment, mainly for some of them. Except for my dad, he just thinks it's about certain policies. But my little brother, he was the first time it was about or second time it was about the weapons and stuff,
Mhm.
My little sister, she just thought it was all about
Wow.
the. I think my little sister and my dad are kind of on the same page, where my little brother is more about oh, I gotta have a gun and stuff, because me and him, we studied World War when we were in school,
Mm,
but he's more of the avid collector of of the weapons and stuff.
So when you do, are you all on good terms in terms of speaking to each other? Because I'm trying to
We
figure
are
out how do you
me, my
interact with
little
each other.
me, my little brother and sister. We are all on good terms. Me and
Who
my
are you?
dad, we talk off and on, and then my little brother and sister, they just recently got on good terms about a year or two ago, because from 2016 to 2019 or
Right.
20, they weren't talking to each other because of the
I
whole
figured. So
thing.
you see that, folks? Trump is tearing families apart. This is what I'm getting at. It's not the Democrats messing this country up. They get out here and they say it's the Democrat. No, it's this guy. The criminals. These
And
criminals in government are ruining this country. Can't you see it?
And I want to say something to this person named King of Zeus. Apparently, he said, "You voted for the most racist person on this time, Joe Biden." Dude, you haven't seen racism until you go to start going through all the presidents, because from 1776 to 1803,
Listen up.
most of the presidents
Mm-hmm.
were racist back then. And then when John Quincy Adams came up,
Listen
and I'm
up.
going to say this, and this is an
Go
actual history
ahead.
lesson
Go
for
ahead. I got
everybody.
the hammer. Let's do it.
In 1803 to 1810, John Quincy Adams was president before it became Republican and Democrat. It was the Republican Democratic Union Party.
Oh, order! Order!
And from and after that, that's when we had Democrats and Republicans, followed by, and I love saying this, to where John Quincy Adams and his bloodline started doing with the South, where everybody else is up north. So we had two different types of capitals for a while. Yes, back then in the 1800s, you can call Democratic races back then, because that's what they were.
Yeah,
But
this is what he's saying. In other
but
words, he's basically saying you're not in a position to call anybody racist because you got to look at yourself in the mirror.
and then and then after 1865, and I'm saying this straight up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Democrats started turning away from racism to be more supportive to the people, because they saw what they can do for the people. They saw that people help make money. People help make this country better than just trying to play. Oh, let's make more expensive. And then Republicans started turning more into England, as I call it.
Mm,
Yes, back then
mm.
during the whole North versus South, the Queen of England supported the South. There's evidence of that.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I listen. Norris, I appreciate that. Listen, there's a lot of truth that you're sharing, and they're not ready for it. But I appreciate it but I do got to bring up my next guest All right, brother. Let
All
me make
right.
sure I'm following you first. Oh, I am following you. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And I appreciate you being brave enough to get up here and stand up against racism right here in front of these folks, okay? Because they don't know that people like you are why the United States of America is doing such a great job under President Biden. So I thank you, Norris.
Before I leave, I want to say one last thing to King of Zeus. King of Zeus, you keep saying that Joe Biden's racist when he was reading a piece of paper that someone wrote in to him about something. You're literally saying you're being racist too if you keep saying that because you're kind of contradicting yourself on that, King of Zeus.
Okay. And you don't got to acknowledge these folks out there branding themselves with ridiculous names like that. No
Well,
one
I
takes
have
them
to say that.
seriously.
Anyways,
All
I'm
right,
out,
Norris,
brother.
thank you so much. All right, time to bring up our next guest, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Tea Drinker, good morning, champion. Nice to see you.
Good morning, buddy.
Wow, I feel honored to be in your presence. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. You're always a ray of light on this TikTok stage. Boy,
Yes.
you give me such good confidence and good vibes. I love it.
You as well, my friend. You as well. So what brings you into Olympus? Thank you for the gifts. There's a lot of things to address, and I'm here. I'm curious about where you land on these issues.
Well, I wanted to show you support.
Thank you.
I appreciate what you do. You're like we like bringing positive spins to what we do. It's important.
Amen.
And seeing that
Amen.
you got a nice crowd, they love hearing it.
Yes, they do. They love the truth over here.
Second, the first guest was actually spot on. I agreed with a lot that he said, and I also dropped him a follow, just
Awesome.
so he knows.
Thank you.
And third, I figured I'll give you the opportunity to ask me any questions.
Oh, really? Okay. So let me ask you some questions then, because see, I don't mind when people are just willing to come in and tell the truth. So first question, have you and I coordinated behind the scenes to talk on this live today?
No,
Have we?
none at all. I just ended my live and I popped
Oh,
into yours, and I figured I say, hey, I'm actually
thank you.
on a trip. You're keeping me company while I'm doing my thing. Why
Mm,
not?
Okay, well, listen, this is your first time in the live, so I got to ask you the standard questions that I ask everybody else that I've never done business with. So, my first question, in your opinion, was the 2020 election stolen by President Joe Biden?
No,
What, did I hear you say no?
it was not stolen by Joe Biden.
Oh! He's doing good, right? He's doing good. Next question, and this is a tough one.
Oh
In
boy.
your opinion, who would you say is responsible for the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th?
Oh, that is a toughie.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Let me get my hammer. I got my hammer.
So many people to say.
Mm.
All right. Can I do multiple choice answers, or is it just one?
It's up to you, however you feel comfortable. Because there's a lot of people out here that are. This could either make it or break it for you, though. See, I see comments like Pelosi and Ray Epps out there. I see those comments.
Well, I'll start this way because, like the previous guest, I don't look at comments, so save yourself the typing. I don't look. But anyway, let's just call it for what it is. I'm going to say this. For those who think that it was certain groups, I'm going to say the names of the groups that definitely had nothing involved.
Oh,
BLM definitely had
oh,
nothing to do with it.
it wasn't.
FBI definitely had nothing to do with it.
Whew.
Am I leaving anybody out? The
Did you say
Democratic Party definitely
Antifa?
had nothing. No, Antifa had nothing to do with this.
Oh,
So that only leaves some of the people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, maybe.
uh-oh.
A few people from Texas,
Oh,
maybe Donald Trump,
oh, no,
Rudy
no.
Giuliani.
Hey, Trump. Woo! Good answer.
I'm
Good
leaving a lot of
answer.
people out, but I'll stick with that.
Okay, now this is the last question, and then we'll go into some of the content that I talked about. But you're doing great. The last
I'm a
question.
little nervous. I'm a little nervous, but I'm all right.
Okay, in your opinion, do you believe President Biden or his son, Hunter Biden, are involved in any criminal activity?
Are you referring to their laptop?
I've heard about it.
Well, we'll
What do
start
you?
there. We'll start because I've heard that too. But under the Trump administration, they did have this so-called laptop for 18 months in their possession.
Oh,
And FBI scanned the crap out of it. CIA, even
uh-huh.
their own DOJ
Oh,
did the investigation until they handed it over to Rudy Giuliani.
oh.
And all of a sudden, things got a little crazy, but I still have yet to see any hardcore proof of what they found. Can anyone else back up my story? Unless you say something different. You can show me
I
some
don't.
physical evidence
I don't.
of what they
But,
found,
but people
other than some
are
nudity
saying
pictures.
you're lying. They're saying you're lying.
How am I lying?
Um.
It's a fact. They had it for 18 months. I'm not lying.
mm,
That's a fact. I can ask any source that you want me to ask. I mean, that's a fact.
no.
Also,
Oh, go
go ahead.
for it.
Well, it's a fact that when they had it in these possessions, they came up with a lot of rumors, but that's what it was. It was just rumors. I
They
mean, we
were
might have seen
rumored.
one or two nudie pictures, but hey, who doesn't have a nudie picture?
Who doesn't have some dirt on their laptop, right? So you don't believe that the Bidens are involved in any crime. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, T. Drinker has passed the test. Now, let's get into the real meat and potato issues. Now, lately I have been seeing, and you may have too, these fake TikTok hosts. They're upset. They're upset right now. And they're out here calling people nasty names. They're calling them racist. They're calling them bigots. They're accusing the Democrats of destroying this country. What is your assessment about this anger and frustration that they're experiencing? Do you think it could be perhaps tied to the fact that their fearless leader may be on the verge of going to jail?
It could be. Also, there's a few factors we got to play into because right now
Mm-hmm.
there's a little cat fight in Florida
Oh.
between Ron DeSantis
Mm.
and number 45.
Oh.
I mean, they're taking off the gloves and they're throwing dirt at each other. So that is, I got my popcorn ready. You know,
Mine
that is
too.
definitely something to see.
Mm.
But also John Smith or Jack Smith. Is it John?
Jack.
John
Oh,
Smith.
that Jack Smith.
Jack Smith. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jack Smith. He hasn't made his announcement today, has he?
No. Listen. Attacking, are you out there? Shane, Swerving, has Jack Smith made his announcement yet? Please keep me posted. I haven't heard anything yet.
Yes. I'm looking at the comments now. I shouldn't, but I am. No.
No,
Oh, he's saying no.
attacking is kidding. Attacking is kidding.
Oh.
Thank you, Shay. You know what we do
I'm
first.
excited.
Like Shay said, we don't just agree. We check first. So no,
But
he
also-
hasn't made his announcement.
But also, you and I drop a lot of truth fact. We back it up. We spend our time to actually research what we say before we say it.
Facts.
And they have a really hard time understanding what actual is reality compared to a make-believe meme.
Facts.
So, and I don't know about you, but lately, the last couple days, it's been pretty hostile, these waters.
Yeah. Yes, it has. Talk to us.
But I am bringing the right type of bait.
Yeah.
I am bringing the right type of bait, and I'm going to catch me a whale.
Hey, I love it. You keep on being a good fishers of men, okay? Because that's what this is about. And I would imagine that they are a lot more hostile now because they're realizing that we are right. We didn't have to play dirty to be winning. We just ended up being on the right side of history because we follow the truth. Right?
The truth matters.
Yeah.
And if people who don't believe the truth,
Thank you.
all you have to do is do a little research. You'll find it.
That's it.
Stop believing the lies. Stop believing the memes, and just do your own research. That's it.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Right. Do your own research. What do you got to say about these these terrorists, they go into these Target stores and they push over the pride stuff. They insult the workers there. What do you have to say about these folks? And they brand themselves as people who are trying to save the United States. What do you say to those folks?
What can I say to those folks? If they were standing here in front of me.
Oh.
Well, we want to keep this TikTok friendly.
Yes, keep it clean.
Yeah, we got to keep it TikTok friendly because in their eyes, their violence, their harassments, their threats in a court of law mean absolutely nothing.
Oh.
What matters, once again, in the eyes of the law, is nothing but facts. So if they come in to destroy, that's also a crime. If they're going to come and harass, that's also a crime.
Facts.
If they're going to come and threaten and put people's lives at danger, now that they're considered a domestic terrorist in my eyes. So, seeing that we live in this wonderful country,
right, this beautiful country
that has the great thing that we call the Constitution of America, that spits out nothing but facts.
Facts.
Make sure they bring facts too, because what they're doing is hurting people, hurting innocent people, and putting lives at risk.
Yeah. Do you really think they believe they're saving this country when they do this stuff?
No, that's a cop-out lie. They know exactly what they're doing.
They're destroying this beautiful country with their hate. Shame.
Because I have yet to get a perfect example or an explanation of the meaning, make America great again. When it was never great to begin with.
When was America ever great?
When? That's the question. When was it great for everybody?
Listen up, Trump supporters. We're telling you this truth so that you don't go back into those lies and get caught off guard when they start telling you the country's under attack. You can go, no, I was in a live with Zeus and Tea Drinker, and they said this, and then you'll be able to stand on your own too and be an adult, and you just may avoid getting 18 years in jail. Oh yeah.
Some people actually get more.
Oh, you said some people get more.
Some people may actually get more. Auntie Wiggs, I see you down there. Good morning, my queen. She is a queen. Make sure you bring her up because she is Auntie Wiggs.
Auntie Wiggs. Greetings. I've never done business with Auntie Wiggs, but I like to. I like to give people a chance.
I have her in my lives. And I'll tell you, she's a fresh of breath air.
Oh wow!
She's a wonderful person with a beautiful soul.
Oh wow!
If you can just real quick, if you can bring her up that way, I can wish her a fantastic 3-day weekend, and you won't regret it. I have her in my lives quite often.
Okay.
She brings nothing but facts.
Okay. Auntie Wiggs, greetings. How are you?
Thank you, Zeus, for having me in your space. I appreciate you.
No problem. All can come to the kingdoms. Just gotta be honest and clean. Keep it clean. Okay.
Oh no.
With all due respect, Zeus, I don't want to swear on your platform, but my motto is put a condom on your heart and fuck your feelings. That is my motto. Yeah, I don't care about your feelings. If your feelings don't come with effect, I have no time for you. So that is my motto. Put a condom on your heart. So
this is for real? You two never met each other?
No, that's my fault. It sound like me and Zeus about to be partners. That's what it sounds
like. No, you two got a lot. I'm surprised.
But she knew I don't be cursing on my platform.
No, that's why I said I didn't know. It's the first time I met you, but I got that out the way. I'm good. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of people.
That's my little motto. That's my little mantra.
Auntie Wiggs, ladies and gentlemen, Auntie Wiggs, Tea Drinker. One more thing you ask for on a Friday. Okay. This is Indictment Eve. What more could you ask for? So yes, Auntie, talk to the people. Please tell us what's going on.
So to answer the questions that you asked, T, I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. I don't like none of them. I believe in right and wrong and doing what is in the best interest of everyone.
I could live with that.
I don't like none of them. It's too many older unpeeled, fresh peeled potato hued folks running this country. They've been doing it for 400 years. I, for one, am sick of them all. They need to get rid of every last one of them and start afresh and anew. Number two, I believe it was about the resurrectionists. I believe everything that occurred that day based on the footage I've seen with that Cheeto dust colored nugget and his high on cocaine son, that they sat back and watched it happen.
Wow, Batman and Joker stuff. Order! Wow, keep going.
And what was the final question? I can't remember.
Do you think President Biden or Hunter Biden are involved in any criminal activity?
No, I do not, because it has been proven over and over again, like he said, that so-and-so had access to that alleged laptop all this time, and they have gone extensively through it and found absolutely nothing. And unless or until you sat on a committee, pulled up a browser on said laptop, I need you to shut your pie hole.
Auntie, you hitting hard this morning. Did you drink 2 shots today this morning? What'd you do?
I did about 2, 3, 4 little splashes of Gentleman Jack in my coffee, so I'm ready.
I love it. I love it. Listen, I love the honesty and integrity, because that is exactly what we need more of these days. Okay. Now these folks on the right, I was asking Tea Drinker. I said, listen, they're upset right now. Do you think it's going to go over well when Jack Smith puts the nail in the coffin, so to speak?
I believe that they on the, is it the right folks, the ones that Cheeto does, that the right folks, right? The Trumpicans, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Well, you know what? They say, there's this thing they got going on. Are you a Republican? No. What are you? Well, I'm an independent. Yeah, I'm an independent.
I ain't even that. When I say Zeus, I don't like none of them. I don't like none of them.
I believe you, but you don't know. They're trying to cover up on what side they're on. Is my point, right? They're really Trump supporters.
They are a Republican as long as it benefits them. But when their decision to be a Republican greatly impacts everyone, especially in a negative way, they're not that kind of Republican.
Okay. I love how you broke it down. I love how you.
Yeah, I'm a crackhead, just not the crackhead with the crack in it. Make it.
Hey, I want what she had, okay? Because listen, if that's what it do to you, I can only imagine what it does to me. Woo! You on fire this morning. Now tell these folks some more of that truth.
I'm like this every day.
Every day.
You woke up like this.
I've been up all night. I've been up since midnight, and I'm gonna probably be up for another couple hours. I'm like this all the time. Again, I need a fact, not a feeling.
You in here cooking?
If you can't prove to me what you are saying in a document, Crayola paper, in construction, whatever, if you can't prove it to me in a legitimate source, I do not entertain you.
I'm with you. We don't got time. Listen, they gotta have the receipts. So you trying to tell me, because they don't got any receipts on President Biden and Hunter Biden, you ain't going for it?
Unless you pulled up a browser, unless you had access to that laptop, and if you do, why you got access, and what did it look like before you put your hands on it? I don't care about what you have to say, especially since the government that everybody believes so much in has said that they have found absolutely nothing. A Republican will lie when the truth will do.
Oh, Lord, there's so much truth coming out of this line right now. Trump supporters, let me go ahead and get you ready. Listen, this is getting too hot for you. You can leave.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
that's right.
If you're not happy here, you can leave.
Okay, I just wanted to say that, okay, because it's getting too hot in here. Now, let me ask you both this question. Either one of you can answer it, okay? But this is a matter of serious. This is going to be a serious issue. So, do you believe?
Zeus, one more. I believe you mentioned something about MAGA. Is that correct?
I did. What was it about?
You asked him, let's talk about MAGA, or that's when I asked to come in because I had a question about the MAGA ideology. Right?
Well, listen, it's your world. Go for it.
So, make America great again implies that America was at some point great.
Right. Someone in the comments said it used to be great when Trump was in
Yeah.
office.
So I would then that's the person I'm talking to. So at what point was it great? And to imply that it was great at some point meant it was great for all, and it was not. So let us not forget where black folk were in 1776. We were either serving the barbecue or we were the barbecue.
Well, that part.
So
That
you're
part.
gonna make it great if you gonna take us out of slavery, which was what 1865 when the people in Galveston received the news after the Emancipation Proclamation first was signed January 1st, 1883. So you're supposed to give us 40 acres and a mule. You refused to do that or didn't do it. So we have at this point no expectation of a reparation. At this point, we just want equity and equality. And then you gave us Jim Crow, and then we had to fight to stop being 3/5 of a person to be a whole
The
person.
3/5 compromise.
Yes. So if you're going to make America great again, meaning historically, if you are going to make America great again, where you going to put black folk? Are you going
Oh, Lord, don't do it.
are you going to put me before 1964 in Jim Crow, or
You got me.
where I can't eat where I want to eat, sit where I want to sit, or better yet, are you going to take me back to 1619 to 1776? And if you take me back to the enslavement times, are you going to put me in the field? Are you going to put me in the house? Where you going to put those in America when it was never great for us? Where you going to put us?
Where you going to put us?
I just need to know what my assignment is going to be. And if you put me in the houses, you're going to keep your husbands and your uncles and your sons off of me. I need to know where you're going to put me.
Oh.
So let's
that Nelly song there is getting hot here. Anybody got that Nelly? Let me see if I can get that song queued up. Keep on going. Hold on.
So yeah, I need to know. And I've asked this because I have Republican followers on my platform. And of course, they love Auntie Wiggs as long as she is performing and making them smile. But when I take their faces out of the window and put it in front of a mirror and show them that they are exemplifying the very behaviors that they say they love me for, then I'm no longer likable. So again, my question remains, where you going to put black folk if it's going to be great again?
Woo! Anybody, can we get a poll? Where you gonna put the black folks if we make America great again? And this is a good question.
Yeah,
where you gonna put the black folks? And do not put in the field. I better not.
Well, no, if you take us back to before 1865, we're either going to be in the fields or we're going to be in the house, or we are going to have to lease back land that they allegedly gave us, that they are going to steal our profit. So we are going to work the land sun up to sundown, and for every dollar we make, they're going to take 98 cents, and we are still supposed to function. So I just need, where you going to put us?
Order! Well, I'll tell you what. You won't get Zeus out there. You won't get me. Before I go, you will.
You better get somebody else to do it. You better get somebody else to do it.
I'm not going back.
You better get somebody else to do it.
That's right. Now, I can't listen. For the right price, we can talk. Because listen, I'm not above doing some hard work. But you better be able to tear off that bread. And I mean, it's going to come with extra interest, all kinds of compounded formulas going into it. I need a large one.
Oh,
a large issue.
You expect that to be compensation?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah. You're getting the top of the line if you get me.
You know what? If I get to choose my profession in the 1700s and the 1800s, if I get to choose my own profession from the 1700s to the 1800s to 64, I want to be a courtesan. If you know, mind your business.
Oh.
If you know, mind your business. I know you know. That's why you went. Oh. I know you know. I know you know. I know you know. Go ahead.
Listen, there's never been, outside of myself and a few others, there's never been this much truth in one lie. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I have nothing else left to say after that. Amazing explanation, Auntie. you have my unwavering commitment to do all.
Let me go and hit that follow button because I love to piss them off. I don't. Again, the condom, where you're supposed to put it and what you're supposed to do with it, I live by that.
There you go, folks. So let this be a good lesson to the folks out there who love to hold these lives, and they brand themselves as freedom fighters or whatever, and they hold these lives trying to call out people for being racist. Let this be the real lesson. What are you going to do? I don't want to debate. Did you say this and that makes you racist? No. If you're a Trump supporter and you believe Make America Great Again is something that needs to happen, what are you going to do with black people?
That is a valid question. What are you going to do with black folk?
But the second question should be, what are they going to do about Latinos?
The Latinos?
But see, let me add
that to my qualifying question.
By that one deviant of melanin, you either going back before 1964 or you gonna join the rest of us. I'm always gonna need a security team for my little boutique I'm gonna be having back in 1776. I'm always gonna need security, and I will pay a fair wage and offer you the extra benefits that come with being security for a courtesan. I'm just saying.
Now on TNT Drinker, there's a lot of people out here. They don't like us.
No. Maybe we should actually bring up Conservative Lynn to see what her input is. I see her tripping down there in cheap seats.
Conservative Lynn, greetings. I got to keep it clean over here.
No, you're right.
But I will visit the lives that y'all have that discussion in, because this is a rare thing. I rarely do 2 in a box at a time. Most people know, but I do make exceptions here and there. And I know they're going to sit back and say Zeus is afraid. Zeus won't debate.
No.
And let me say this emphatically, so I want you to hear me and hear me well. I know that not all non-hued individuals are not racist. I know that.
Right.
Some of y'all are actually good abolitionists, right? I just don't trust all our allies because eventually y'all turn to all lies, and then that internal racism sticks out and you automatically refer to the whiteness that you are comfortable with. But I do understand and know that not all white people are racist. We just don't know which one of y'all's ain't. So until then, we have to move accordingly. In my mind, if you got conservative, if you got 1776, if you got patriot, if you got some 8s in your name, you are by default a racist because you have the racist ideology that those things represent. And you don't get to pick and choose which parts of those ideologies you like.
The poll results are in. What does MAGA mean? It means 1776. It means Jim Crow era. And it means 1619. A whopping 87% of you voted that. Wow. So
87%.
87% voted that MAGA means bigotry in this live. So the Confederacy, it means that. So when you see folks out here embracing MAGA, and if you are a MAGA, you got to understand this comes with the territory. Wear your badge with honor. And when we do talk to you, don't try to deflect. Zeus, you're the racist. Fine. Then you're like me, right? Right?
Big Doug said racism exists in all races. Oh, bless your poor, pitiful, pea-picking heart, baby. Let me gather you right quick. So there's a difference in indentured servitude and chattel slavery. I love how people from Ireland like to say that the Irish were enslaved. No, baby, you weren't. You made you went into a contract with someone to work off a debt for said period of time, and once your debt was paid, you got to pack up you and your family and go about your business. Chattel slavery is completely different than indentured servitude. We didn't have the option to just walk away when we was through picking masses cotton. We didn't have that option.
Y'all better listen up. Get you some real history. This is that information Ron DeSantis don't want you to know. I get it.
Yeah, so the take was like, that's 100 years ago, said the Mr. Dig Dug. So let's scooch it forward, baby. Okay, there has never been a time in the existence of the United States of America when Christopher Columbus's ass was when Christopher Columbus. We can do the A part because I'm trying to do right by your space. So I'm doing. There's never a time.
Guide you along. I'm helping you.
Yeah. There's never been a time since Christopher Columbus brought his hind parts over here when he was supposed to be sailing somewhere else, and whoever was in charge of his navigational system thought because they was in the Indian Ocean when they landed on the land that we know as the United States of America has never been in a position of power to socioeconomic impact anybody.
Amen.
And it has proven since the inception of this stanky country that we have never been in a position of anything. Y'all won't even acknowledge that technically before George Washington came along, that the very first quote unquote what word am I looking for? Unofficial first president of the United States of America was a black man. Because I had a problem with the one we had in 2008. So let's not forget that. But show me historically where a non-black person had to march to sit down at a countertop to eat. Show me historically where a non-black person had to march just to go to vote. Show me where a non-black person. Show me historically where there was a sign that said no coloreds, but instead it said no whites can urinate, eat, sleep, caca, build, buy, shop. Show me that.
Woo. Show us.
And please understand, black people can be prejudiced. We can be bigoted. And given the history of y'all and y'all relationship with us, we are well within our right.
So let me ask you one last question, because Zeus can't stay that long. This show's supposed to only go an hour. But what do you say? Little Hawk, thank you. What do you say to people who disagree with you and they say, you just love to make everything all about race because you have no truth, no facts. You just think everything is race. What do you say to those people?
Go ahead, T. I'll wait for you. Let me put some more Jack in this coffee. Go ahead.
Ooh, put the next one just for me.
Oh, Lord, I shouldn't have asked it, huh? I shouldn't have asked it, perhaps, huh?
See, I knew you were going to have a good day. I knew.
Yeah, I had an excellent morning.
I'm sure you did, because I know when Wigs comes up to my live, I love it. But get back to your question.
Oh, God.
What do we say? Well, people like you and me, we get beat up on a daily basis, but we just don't show our true colors. There's people who were saying stuff in the comments about what happened yesterday, and I agree. But I always keep my head up, and I always keep what I always say, which is the truth.
Amen.
I ain't going to let no one steal my joy. And time again, justice is coming.
Can't
you
just taste it? Can't you just taste that sweet taste of justice? It's like a refreshing glass of water. Ooh, I love it when it just hits all over and your mouth is dry and that drop of water just comes in and quenches your thirst. Yeah, that justice is
I will say this, though. Once justice starts coming, don't be crying. You did it to yourself.
Hey, man, that's what my mama used to tell me when I used to get in trouble. You all try all them tricks. It wasn't me. It was my brother. It was the neighbor. It was not me. And she always used to tell me, you did this to yourself. You earned this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Choices have invoices. Now, so to get back to the question, what do you say to these people who like to say, we just like to turn everything into race because we don't have anything else to talk about? We've talked about politics very well in this live, right? We talk about politics, and we don't mind talking about race. So what do you say to those people? You get your
it's brewing. I put an extra. I took a little swig before I started pouring. I got to wait till I get it to pour it. But it amazes me. So here's the irony in all of this. It's always about race. It amazes me that when the enslaved Africans came here, you all used that Bible to enslave us for 400 years because y'all love them Ephesians where it say slaves obey your master, right?
Oh, they do.
And they do. And they made it about race, right? So y'all built the system of racism. Y'all implemented and have benefited from the system of racism. So now y'all see and understand that we ain't backing down no more.
No.
To the carpet on the words and the things that you say and that you do. So now, because you understand that we ain't backing away or backing off or turning the cheeks up top or the cheeks below, now you want to no longer make it about race. Darling, you all started this, right?
That's deep.
You started this, right? Because remember, y'all, after we were freed, right? 1865, even after we were free, y'all didn't even want us in y'all schools, right? Let's not forget, Ruby Bridges is only 68 years old and she's still alive, right? They needed the National Guard to just let her go to school, right? So let's not forget, y'all didn't even want us not only in your schools, but in your homes, in your towns, in your offices. So it's really strange to me that those who created the conception or the system of race now no longer wants it to be about race. Because y'all getting called out about y'all racist stuff. Why folk come now? Is it not about race?
Why
folk come? Y'all created.
Y'all did it. Y'all want to start it and don't want us to be able to be a part of it. Right. Oh no. Right. Once you open the door, we want to be in there. We want to talk. Oh yeah, and we want to talk about you.
I believe there was a lady, I was looking her up the other day. She was still a slave until 1960. No, 2000, she died in 2014. Let me go see if I can find her name. And to this day, in the South, in rural areas, especially in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, there are still people living as slaves. Sleeping and working fields for little of nothing.
See, this is that real conversation about race they don't want to hear. They don't want to have. Because see what this does right here, this takes all the smoke, this takes all the air out of your argument right here. Ain't nothing else you can lie about or laugh about when we telling you concrete facts. You got folks that were freed. They were
May
freed.
Louise Miller, that's her name. May Louise Miller. There's your thank you, Dustin. May Louise Miller. Go look her up.
Oh, look it up.
Go look it up.
You got folks out here that were supposed to be freed that weren't told they were freed during slavery, during the Emancipation Proclamation. And you're saying, even to this day, there were still folks after that didn't know that they were free. So what a shame.
William Smith says, great again is no black or no Mexican. Are you stating that's what is meant, or are you stating that's what you want? Because if that's what you want, sugar, number one, you can't return stolen merchandise. So I need you to go in your granddaddy's or great granddaddy's attic and find the receipt for whatever family his family owned and give them the receipt so that we know where we come from. That's number one. Number two, if we do leave this raggedy country and go back henceforth where we came from, which hopefully will be printed on the receipt in which your ancestors purchased us, we taking everything we ever created back with us, including ranch dressing. You're gonna dip your chicken in water before you dip it in
no. Did you go after the fried chicken too?
You gonna dip your hot wings in water before you dip it in ranch dressing, because a black man created ranch dressing. We are taking open heart surgeries back with us. We are taking gynecology back with us. We taking it all back. So baby, let me know when you find the cruise line that's gonna accommodate us.
And we taking the super soaker too. Go ahead, take it all back.
Bazinga. What else you got? What else you got?
Oh God. So this is that truth. This is that truth they don't want you to hear. They're not going to teach you to get that CRT out of our schools because it's radicalizing our children.
And we taking down every building we ever built, because let's be real, y'all only brought us over here on this new land after you discovered it and created genocide on the people that were here because y'all were too lazy to build up your own nation. We're taking our buildings, we're taking our architecture, we're taking our carpentry, we are taking everything back with us.
Well, listen, you two. I did do a bit of a detour, but I had to because I felt like it was very important to hold this space and get this message out to these people, especially these people who love to tune in every morning, and they go out here and they run into these lives where they got these fake TikTok hosts trying to have conversations about racism, and they're so far off the real issue. They get into these personal attacks, but when you, like you said earlier, when you hold the mirror up and say, no, what are you going to do with black people if we are talking about making America great again? What are you going to do with Latinos and other minorities, members of the LGBTQ plus community? What are you going to do with those folks?
Well, see, that's just it. The LGBTQIA plus community has been around forever. I mean, just look at the palm-colored man that they use as an example for Jesus. Not only was he gay, but he was also molested because he slept with his sister. So let's be clear here. That's the image Cesar Borgia, who was it Da Vinci? Which one of them painted mans? That was his lover. Yeah. So let's talk about it. If we go talk.
Yeah, it would be boring in America without all of us. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, you two. Well, listen, I definitely appreciate.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Y'all visiting me. Y'all did an excellent job. Auntie, I appreciate you. Tea drinker, I appreciate you. But it is now time for Zeus to disappear into his kingdom.
Zeus, one more thing to decipher the track, darling. I am not a bigot nor a racist. I like all people. I respect all people. I'm gonna do you one better so you can have something to tell your little boys when you go see them, right? I love white men.
Yes.
It's something about that little pink flesh that just when you hit it, it turned red. And something about that turned me on. But if he ever step out of pocket with me, he will get checked.
keep it clean.
Now
Listen,
go for
folks.
that.
All right, Auntie. Thank you, Auntie.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Love you too, and thank you for bringing that truth.
It has been a joy, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you for the hospitality.
On purpose, with a purpose, and be safe.
Hey, all right, you too, and have a great Memorial Day weekend,
Auntie. And Zeus, thank you for the hospitality. Thank you so much. And this should be a lesson to all the creators that I see in here. We need to support each other in this time of need because there's a lot of people out there saying all these false informations. I came here to keep it real with Zeus, and thank you so much for the hospitality once again.
All right. Thank you so much, brother. And I appreciate all you do in your
I appreciate you
as well. Ladies and gentlemen, tea drinker. And that was not coordinated at all. Thank you. That was not coordinated at all. That was just what happens when the universe aligns and sparks start flying and they come together and make one of the best. It was just a nice, big experience of truth. And listen, this is why I do what I do out here. I know it comes with a lot of arrows, but someone has to do it. And it's Triple H, it's me. Now, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I do got to get up out of here, okay? But before we go, it is now time to listen to everyone's favorite song. Okay, you know me. I don't just keep it real on live, but I keep it real in the studio and in the booth. All right? So, take care. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. CC, I will check in with you. I'm so sorry, but I do have to run. April, all of you, I love you all. Swerve in heaven. Yes, let's go.
Who opens the most handsome in the kingdom?
Yes, yes. And I really am the most handsome. Thank you.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my money when I'm moving like Zeus. You thinking that you cool till I pull up like Zeus. Thunder in the sky like you up like Zeus. I make my own rules. I'm a god, call me Zeus. I'm fire than an eagle, ain't got red on me. Took a long time to get here. You living like a bum. Hey, from me, so I got money on my mind.
I can't leave it up to you.
I can't hang around with you. Fall in love.
Give me my space.
Next time in the mix, I put a bounty on your head. This is way above the feds. When you playing with the gods and you playing with the dead. Time to let loose with the truth.
Yeah, grab your goose.
Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know you ladies love me cause you sweet like a tooth. Playing handy on the god, he's such a douche. I try to be patient, but you had to light my fuse. I'm catching up snakes like a mongoose. These ladies love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. move when I'm moving like Zeus. You thinking that
You
you
all
till I
nice
pull up like Zeus. Thunder in the sky, light you up like Zeus. I make my own rules.
Yes,
I'm a
ladies
god,
and
call me
gentlemen,
Zeus. I'm
Ruby,
hotter than
Wakanda.
I'm burning down the roof. You say you wanted facts, well,
Brand
I'm living
new.
proof. I've been waiting for this
Politically
moment.
heard,
I got
brand
it.
new.
If you play around with love, then you guaranteed to lose. I didn't make the game of rules, so don't play me like a fool. If you can't swim, don't be in the pool. Even though I'm hot, people telling me be cool. I'm just sitting on my throne while you looking like a goof. Time to let me speak the truth. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth.
Divided no more.
God's please, such a douche.
I tried to be patient, but you had to light my fuse. I'm catching all these snakes like a mongoose.
These ladies love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my mood when I'm moving like Zeus. You thinking that you're cool till I pull up like Zeus. Thunder in the sky, light you up like Zeus. I make my own rules, I'm a god, call me Zeus.
Yeah, you know about me.
Oh, see, I see you,
Wild
champ.
and loose. I'm the god of the skies, you know what I'm saying?
I really am.
I'm breaking down the roof.
I'm breaking down the roof, I know. Sound mine on the beat, kicking hard like Bruce. Lawrence Green on the beat. You better call the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I can dance and box in the jungle like a kangaroo. Don't get caught slipping in the woods or you'll be dead like a mouse. Lindsay on the beat like Zeus. Hey, Lindsay.
On the beat like Zeus.
Eat the love.
RMC on the beat.
RMC, where are you at? You heard about me. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.
Bertha.
Bertha, been a long time.
It's me.
Alan,
It's Zeus.
it's Zeus Yazzie. Keep up the good work. Justice needed. Thank you, brother. I knew you'd come around. Myron, yes. All right. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to make sure we did touch on the elephant in the room. It looks like the Heat are struggling more than I expected. Yes, Jewel, I see you. You know, I'm changing my position. I think Denver might win it. I think Denver might win it. So my prediction, Denver 4-0. All right, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.